Hey everyone, it is Larry here at LC Model Shipbuilding. I know I haven't posted here in a little bit, just been busy, but worked on the B deck a la carte restaurant, so that's what this video is going to be all about. Basically building the walls, getting the furniture bent up and installed. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start with the a la carte restaurant first in here. So that ends up landing in this area, basically right here. So I just got it painted up. I'm using the Woody's kit. So here's our directions for it. That's the smoking room. Hold on, I need the a la carte restaurant first. I picked up the wrong page. Parisian Cafe. And you can print these off of Woody's site on the old interweb. So it has the directions basically for most of the rooms, which is good. So there you go, you can kind of see what we're doing. So these are the walls right here. So I'm going to go ahead and get them cut out, and then we'll start to bend them up and get them ready to go. So let me hit the old pause button here and kind of rearrange some stuff, and then we'll be back. Okay, so here we go. First wall we're going to need is this one right here. So we're going to cut that out. And then it kind of gives the directions on how to bend it there, which is very good. So I need a new blade. Actually, I need a whole new knife. This one is coming apart. It's gotten a lot of use. There we go. Okay, so just get my nipper. Got a little piece hanging there. Okay, so directions show a 90-degree here, and we're basically gonna go straight back like that, 90. Then we got another 90 going the opposite way right here. And this does fold very nice and easy, so no issues. Now this wall folds out and then it folds back on itself. And I do believe these were mirrors. I gotta take a look at Honor and Glory, because if they were, before I because I'm gonna end up gluing that together, I might stick some mirror, well, not mirror, but the foil tape in there. Okay, now this is a bay window that will follow the shape of the wall for the outdoor promenade, not promenade, Parisian Cafe. So I'm just gonna kind of fold it in like that for right now, just to kind of get a shape going. Okay. Then we're gonna go back out again. like on the other side. And then we fold back again. And basically just like that. So, like I said, I'm going to double check if there are mirrors there. Because if they are mirrors, I'll obviously put them in. And then I'll glue it just to hold it. But that is essentially how that should look. That'll just be tight once we do it. So there's that one. And it shows the doors open. I think I'm going to actually wait until I get it on the ship to do that. Because I will open the doors. I think that makes more sense. Then we got piece number B, or letter B, I mean. This one also has a fair amount of folds going on it. And this is a fairly long piece here. So this one folds up. And it folds down. So that should be a 90 and then back on itself. Again, the mirror type deal. Then we fold here. And we do the same thing over again. And that comes that way. And we got one more of those protrusion walls, I guess we'll call it. Or divider wall, I guess that's what it would be. Privacy wall, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but that's that. So there we go. And again, we'll put the mirror in as needed. So there's our first two. All right, next up we have this next wall here, which is piece C. Right. Okay, so this one, basically the same type of scenario again. Okay. It also has doors there that call for them to be open, at least in the pictures here. That goes backward. And then like that. So that's basically what we got. Okay, then we have a buffet, which is right here. I'll have to also look on Honor and Glory to see what the tabletop of that looked like, because I'm doubting it was wood. It might have been, but and we just basically fold that right back around here. Okay. There we go. Now that gets glued to the wall. Okay. Now these this room will be actually quite a bit more viewable than most of the other ones that we've been doing, because you will be able to see it through multiple places. So I do really like the detail that Neil has provided on these. It's just absolutely fantastic. So there we go. All right, then it kind of shows the arrangement. So essentially we got that, followed by that, followed by that. And then the two partition walls are over here on the sprue yet that I gotta cut off. I'm actually gonna probably wait to cut them till it's time to go ahead and put these on the ship. So next up, I gotta figure out which flooring goes on here, and then we'll go ahead and get that glued down, and then we'll start putting it all together onto the ship. I do want to paint the curtains too. That wall doesn't have them, but this one does. So we have curtains right in here that need to be painted. I want to look at what color they need to be. So I'm going to go explore real quick on Honor and Glory, figure out this mirror situation, and then when we come back, we will start gluing it down. So be right back. Okay, so I did go back and look here. The curtains are kind of a lavender color, I guess you'd say. So I'm going to kind of make that out of I don't have lavender paint, so I'm going to kind of make some out of some red and gray, kind of, maybe a little touch of blue, just basically to get the look. It's a very light color, so we'll do that in a minute here. These are not mirrors, so we're just going to put some glue in here and seal them up quick. But I just wanted to double check before I went ahead and did it. Okay. Now, the ones that do appear to be mirrors are actually some of the window looking pieces, which we'll address them here in a couple minutes. I gotta figure out what goes where first before I determine what is what. Okay, so we got that. And I'll kind of rebend it here in a minute after they kind of dry. And if you haven't used Honor and Glory yet, and you're building this this build, highly recommend it. I mean, you're not going to, I mean, the pictures obviously are great from Ship Magnificent and whatnot, but to get like just colors and all that kind of stuff, and heck, it might not be perfectly right 100%, but it is close enough that I would take it. So anyway, there is the that first wall, which kind of goes there. Now this part here, you have your turbine casing, which would have been in here, basically. There's some a galley down in here. We're going to determine if we're going to do that or not here in a few minutes. But essentially, that will go here. And then this will go as basically the side wall. So that goes there. So our carpet is this. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. And go a little big on purpose. Okay. That'll work. Now I need to cut a little bit of that corner there at the entryway. I'm going to cut a little bit off of there. And yeah, essentially we want to be like that. And then we got that part right there. So I'm just kind of marking it. Okay. So we should basically be sitting about like that. I might take a little piece and put it in there for the window, bay window, alcove. Yeah. Sorry, I know we just did this, but I just want to make sure I'm where I want to be with it. Okay. Obviously that's going to get a little bit bent in. We'll do that in a minute here as we go. So that's about how we want it, just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that down a little bit right there. And then I'll fold it here to kind of get my length. Just like that. So now we're going to go ahead and glue that down, the carpet. And CA glue may be really overkill, but I'm okay with it. Little piece of plastic there. Okay. So there we go. Now, for the bar, that was kind of a grayish look. It looks like it was kind of a marble of some sort, or granite. So I'm going to use a lighter gray once I find what I want here. And then I'll kind of speckle it in with a little bit of darker gray and maybe a little bit of blue or something. Okay, gray. Medium gray. I kind of want light gray, I think. There we go. Okay, we'll let that dry. And then we'll hit it with a little bit of, what do you call it? The other little color that we're going to add in there. A little bit more pink than I want still. Let me get some blue into it. find a blue in acrylic. There we go. It's getting closer. One more hit of blue. Yeah. Okay, that's going to just be our curtains right in here. And then the top of the curtains there kind of had a real light pale green kind of look to it. So I'll try to do something with that too. Okay, there we go. May not be perfect, but it will work. Now, here, I do want to add that little bit of carpet, even though it really won't be visible. I just want it for my own sanity. Okay. And that'll blend in pretty close. Okay, so now we're just gonna hit the bar there. Well, the bar's still drying. I can do that once it's on. Essentially, we're gonna be just like this. Now, these windows here aren't really windows, they're actually mirrors. And I want to check behind the bar here, so I'm going to do another double check of the of Honor and Glory, just because I want to get it right the first time. Might have set that a little bit farther than I wanted to. Yeah, we shifted just a tiny bit. Let's see if I can still move that. Alright, no. So we're going to Just add a little bit there. It doesn't have to be much, but okay. There we go. That won't be too noticeable because it's right along the wall. I think we'll be fine. Not to mention, it'll only be visible through such a small window anyway that I don't really have too much worry about doing that. But all right, I'm gonna go take a break here and check for these windows or these mirrors again, and then we'll be back. Okay, so I went ahead and put the glass in this wall. So we got the glass in. You can kind of see it shine in there. And now we're going to be using, again, the kit window frames. So I have them painted already. And they are piece number 39, which are a bunch of these right here. And then we got some of the other ones there. So I'm going to go ahead and get them cut out and glued on. Again, I'm using the micro crystal clear glue, and main reason I need to have that on is because when we go to install our interior wall, I want to make sure my windows are lining up and all that good stuff. So we're going to get that put on. One other thing, I mentioned it before in another video, or maybe this video, I think it was the previous video. I cut along the very edge here, and I've done that with all the scale decks, but I didn't really show it on the video. But before I install the wall, that gets cut so that this fits down here flush and doesn't stick up and affect the upper decks as we get higher. So I just wanted to point that out because I had mentioned it before, just never showed it. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting my window frames out, get them put on. I'm going to drill these portholes out in the doors, and we'll get this glued on. Then we'll start putting our interior walls in for the restaurant. Excuse me. Okay, so I got my window frames in. One thing on these, they are white on the restaurant Cafe Parisien out here, so that was a little bit of a challenge because they're brown on the inside and white on the outside. So did what I could with them. They kind of have the look, but not perfect. So anyway, there's that. But you can see the glass reflecting in them, and again, you'd have to see it through fairly small windows to be able to see the detail anyway. Excuse me. All right, so what I don't want to do is go ahead and put the wall and actually glue it down here. My original thought was that I needed to, but now that I'm playing with it more, I don't think I need to, because this wall will need the photo etch on it before I actually glue it in. So I'm going to use it just to kind of get a bearing, but I'm going to go ahead and glue the wall on for the inside. without having the outer wall installed yet. And we should be perfectly fine doing that, but I don't think it hurt getting it ready to go out there. That really will end up being part of the next video anyway, when we do the Cafe Parisien, because I'm not going to do that one in this video. This video is pretty much just going to be the a la carte restaurant. Now, just because of how this is bent, I think I'm going to hit it with some accelerator. That should hold it. Yeah, we'll be okay with that. And my windows line up. That was the biggest thing I was worried about, was making sure the windows lined up there. So from here, I went ahead and kind of did some marbling of that. I have a lighter gray, then a darker gray, and now I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of NATO black, just kind of dry brushing it on to get that look of a marble or granite. And I just want it to be a little bit darker. That's not really doing much. Then again, the bottle's almost empty, so there's that. Try it again here. There we go, we're getting a little darker now. Yeah, I'll take that. That's more, in most spots there, what I was looking for. Actually, even better now. Okay, and then I put the mirrors in on the walls here, so they are set. And I also did it on the back wall, so you can see that. And then the partitions, the holes get left open. Whoops. So this one then goes back here. Move this forward a little bit. And that one goes right here. So we're going to go ahead and glue that on. And again, I'm going to use some accelerator with it, just so I get it pretty much straight. really doesn't want to, you almost have to put it down before you set it, I guess you'd say, or glue it, I mean. I thought I'd try it without, but not having a heck of a lot of luck. Now the back part here, I'm going to let that set up for a minute. And then I'll kind of angle this more straight. Yeah. Yeah, that seems to be working. Alright, so I'm going to glue down the other side here. And then we'll be about ready to start putting furniture in. So I'm going to pause it while I glue that down and get ready to go. Okay, so I got my walls set, and this is the furniture then for the a la carte restaurant. So I got to prime it up quick, and then we'll go ahead and spray it wood, and then all the cushions I do believe are kind of a tannish cloth. I'll double check and verify that before I paint it, but as you can see, everything's lining up nicely. Got my walls set and they appear pretty straight. Got my buffet bar set and that's looking good. So pretty happy with that all in all. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint these up, and then we'll demonstrate how to fold chairs and fold tables, and then I'll probably pretty much wrap up this video, and the next one will probably be the Cafe Parisien. So it'll be either that one or we'll do the second class smoking room. Not sure which yet, but in any case, one or the other. So I'm gonna go ahead and verify some colors, paint this quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've been working on getting the chairs and tables all painted up for that room, for a la carte cafe. So there they are. Backs of the chairs are painted kind of a light green. That's kind of what they look like they are anyway from Honor and Glory, and from what I can find from research. So that's what I stuck with. In the meantime, while I've been waiting for them to dry, I've been working on more of my cabins over here for the staterooms. These basically are just cabins that I didn't finish off during the last video, I think it was, or the video before that, I can't even remember. But just been kind of whittling away at these a little bit at a time. I got a few more to go, but getting there slowly. But you know, having the ability to start working on this is breaking this up a little bit, and then I can kind of go back and forth between the two. So in any case, we're getting there, but I'm going to let the clear coat on these finish drying up, and then we'll start doing some installation work. We do have this nice handy map here to kind of utilize that has basic setup of the locations, so that's what we'll be using. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it, and we'll come back, and once these are dry, we'll start putting them together and getting them bent up and ready to be installed. Okay, so did a couple more rooms, got this side pretty much done. Got to put the mattresses on, but I'll get there in due time. Like I said, I'm just kind of switching them up as I feel like it. So here we got our painted chairs and tables for the a la carte cafe or restaurant, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, we're going to see how these all go about folding. So I'm going to do the A tables first. So they're all numbered right in there. And then you have numbers all right here. So ALCA, ALCA. And they literally run basically the center of the room. So we're going to make sure that we're pretty well centered. I guess it won't be perfect, but we'll do our best. So cutting them out, just basic photo etch. I am going to try to go very close because I don't want the paint overhang. So I guess it broke. Okay. So my one fear with these are how skinny the mounting points are for the legs. So I'm gonna try to really douse it with glue as much as I can on the legs. But like I said, it's going to, my biggest fear is that they kind of fall off and then they rattle around in the ship, and I don't really want that. So we'll see how these mount quick. So I'm using standard CA glue. Come on. Yeah, whatever. Now, these tables would have had white tablecloth on them, so I ended up painting it white on top, but I guess the table itself, if it didn't have a tablecloth on it, would be wood. So all right, there's our first one. And now this gets looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chairs around it. So all the chairs are the same, and they should be just basically fold and go. And this will get fairly repetitive because literally almost all of the furniture is the same. So we're just folding the arms down. I'm sorry, the legs down first. And then to bring the arms around. But yeah, they fold fairly easy. No big issue there. So then we'll just dip it in some glue. I'm going to try to put some on like the seat, because that'll give it a little bit more of a mounting point onto this table. Yeah, see, that table's already loose. So as much as I don't want to do it, my next thought process is just putting a very big dot of glue in there and setting it in. I'm going to try it one more time to glue it down, but I don't know if it's going to have any luck. And it's still moving. Okay, so we're going to try this. Kind of see how this goes, because I figure I can just kind of hit it with some dull coat then. And the big splotch will be underneath the table anyway. So it'll be a little bit less noticeable. There we go, that's solid. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is fold 5 chairs, 5 more, and then we're going to do basically glue around the whole entire table so that I can just hit it with the accelerator all in one shot. The good thing is once you clear coat these, I will tell you, like, if you just leave the paint on there and don't clear coat, this photo etch will scratch right off. But once the clear coat's on there, this stuff actually stays on very well, and there's no real issue with scratching. I dropped the chair. I'll have to look for that one in a minute. Okay. All right, so we'll get these other 5 folded up, and then we'll put it around, or put it on. And I think there's like 140 chairs, if I read that right. So I'm going to be making chairs for a while. And then there's chairs that'll go in the upstairs when we get up to A deck. And there's going to be chairs that go in the smoking room behind this. So I'll be pretty good at bending chairs by the time this is over. I think this kind of is the way to go to, like assembly line style, where you make multiple in one shot. Because one, to glue them down, obviously you're going to want to do more than just a couple like we did on the first one, and 2, they kind of go quick when you get yourself into a groove. Like, I find that with almost any photo etch as I'm doing it, once you get used to it. I apologize too, my videos have been, I haven't been making as many videos lately, just been a little busy, haven't had as much time to devote to modeling, just with the new job and getting used to that and traveling. So obviously I'm still doing it, but just been a little slower the past couple weeks. But as winter starts to set in, I'm sure I'll be moving at modeling quite a bit more. Plus I have some committed video or builds coming up that I got to be working on. One being the Trans Am coming up, and then the Star Trek Kronos 1. So those will be future series that are going to be on this channel in the not so distant future. I know I won't have Titanic done when I start it, but that's okay, because that doesn't mean I'm quitting Titanic. Okay. There we go. That worked well. So I will be adding people in here too, but not at every table. Kinda to model boat guys' thought process. I'm doing like mid to late afternoon, so the restaurant probably wouldn't have been overly busy and more people will be on the decks. So that's kind of the plan. Okay, this whole gluing process is turning out to be fun. I might have had put too big of an area down on the first shot. That one's good, that one's good, that one's good, that one's good, table's good, that one's good. All right. Okay, so next up we have some single tables with dual chairs. So I'm going to do all three of these right now, and they are E, which are all these. So I'm going to fold them a minute, and we'll cut the chairs out and basically do the exact same process. Then after that, we're going to do one of the, what do they call it, a serving station, I think, or greeting station. So we'll do that next. Oops. I do want to cut that a little bit more. Okay, so one goes in front of the window. Which is good because that'll be right over that seam line that I ended up making in the carpet. And then the other two go right by that little alcove there. Okay. And they actually, they're covering the glue blotches better than I anticipated, so I'm happy about that. So I need 6 chairs here. You know what? I'm taking this off. It doesn't need to be there, and it's annoying me. That's better. Okay. So, same thing here. I know the paint coverage isn't 100% perfect on the green. Most of it you won't see anyway, but I custom mixed it, and I guess it looked better last night before I clear coated it than what it actually was, but I think it'll be alright. Not to mention, some of these will probably end up having some people sit in them, so I'm going to set some of them back farther from the table. We'll do that with one of these. Okay. Alright, so we're going to do our same thing with our glue blotches here. Well, that didn't work how I wanted it. Okay. Okay, so this one, hopefully they stick this time. Oh, because as you could see there, the tables did not. And that chair's not already. Jeez. I don't think it's a matter of not having enough glue. I think it's a matter of the legs being so small. Or I may have to glue to the table directly. Which that'll be my next test, I guess. We'll find the right technique though. Just gonna take a minute. So I'm kind of getting a little on the table too on purpose, so I can hopefully use the table to kind of be a mounting point. Okay, this one I'm gonna put back a little bit from the table because I'll put a person in that one. Let's see how if they stick. That one's stuck. That one's loose. That one's stuck. That one's stuck. Stuck. Loose. Stuck. Okay. Okay, that one's drying almost instantly from the glue, or from the accelerator. And this one almost stuck. Okay. I know it should stick this time. Yes. All right. Better. All right. So next up, we're going to do one of these greeting stations. So ALCC. There's only really one. Oh, okay, so that's at the entryway. So we might as well build that quick. Okay, so the top is there, that's the top. So that folds down. Then these fold inside. That's the bottom, which is good because it gives a good mounting point. And what I'll probably do then is put like a host here at the podium. To kind of check people in. I know Titanic Honor and Glory has a actual, like a menu, or I forget what. Yeah, I think they have the menu on there. Check-in podium. So put that right there. Okay. Now, table 33 is one of the smaller tables. So that is one of these guys. And this is the same basic process all over again. This one's going to have even more challenges to mount because there's only 4 legs on it compared to 6 like the bigger one had. But it only has 4 chairs. So I'll put this table on, then I'll probably just pause it and work on getting more of the room kind of completed, and then we'll close out the video. But I thought about trying to combine this video into the second class smoking room or the Parisian cafe, but if I do that, it won't get released for another week or 2 probably at the rate I'm moving. So I figure I'll just do this video and then I'll do another one for each of those rooms on their own as standalone videos. Or maybe I'll combine the 2. We'll see. Depends on what challenges arise as we go into those rooms. I might get started and find that they have crazy different furniture and all kinds of stuff that is interesting instead of doing the same thing 140 times. So you never know what you're gonna find. These chairs, as you get used to bending them, are actually extremely easy to do. So, as you can see, I'm just basically using my fingers in most cases to bend at this point, as I've gotten more used to it. Okay, so we're gonna go a fairly large glob of CA. I'm hoping that will be a big enough glob to kind of catch all of the chairs where I want them to land. That's not enough. As much as I hate doing it this way, I'm going to, just because I know what struggle I went through. Over there. And I don't think it's going to hurt having extra glue in here. Okay, now it's calling for another table, another one of these straight tables to be in this little alcove, and I don't see that as possible. There's no way. Those chairs are literally touching the wall. So that's not going to work. I'm going to have to admit those chairs. I guess I could always move them to a different place. See if I have extra room, because this is just kind of a guidance, but I want to try to follow it as much as I can. I know this is kind of set to Honor and Glory's floor plan, basically, of the room when they did it, but physically I don't see a way to make that fit. So I don't know. Somebody else that has done this, I'm sure you can chime in and tell me I'm completely wrong and I should have seen this and should have did that and whatever, but from what I can see, there is not physically room to do it. This table is going to go right there. I'm going to hit it with more glue. And that actually is perfect. This one only gets 3 chairs. I shouldn't have squirted the glue already. I got over anxious. Hopefully the accelerator doesn't dry it. If it does, I'll just spray more, but okay, so even though this is an assembly line fashion, I'm going to drop that one. I'm going to go ahead and put this one on now just because I know the glue's still wet. Okay, just gonna check how these turned out. Yep, they're solid. Not quite. I'll hit that with a little bit more glue in a second. Solid. Okay, that's all solid. Okay, so I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna work on putting more chairs and tables down, and I will be back. Okay, so a little, I guess, best practice I've learned, just like before, with doing assembly line type thing. I put together probably 20 chairs roughly, and this is going much simpler and faster that way. So basically, if I do about 20 at a time and the corresponding tables, then I can just basically drop them all in place, and this actually moves along fairly quick. So I just kind of thought I'd show that, but then it really turns into a matter of just dropping your parts in place after you put your glue on, following the map as close as possible. There is definitely some size issues to actually doing that. One thing I will say too, if you spray the accelerator, it tends to make this dry a whole lot faster, so re-gluing is a real issue. So I would kind of use the accelerator a little bit sparingly, but it does definitely help. Like that one already dried. Just so you don't have to use as much glue. Kind of what I'm getting at. Alright, then we got one that goes right across right there. Roughly. And that's dry already. So, I get it, kind of repetitive this part of the video. Just kind of, I'm gonna omit that table, the small one there, because there's really not enough room. And we're going to put our next setting of 6 here. and that will kind of get us back on track for the other half in size, hopefully. We shall see. But yes, once they're all pre-assembled, this is actually quite simple then. And assembly, as you saw, really was not bad. I think the worst part's actually cutting them off the brass sprue. But once you get that part done, folding them is cake with the pre-folds already there. And I think I folded 20 chairs or so in all of about 5 minutes. I listened to a song while I was doing it, and the song was over by the time I was done folding. So yeah, doing it this way instead of one at a time is the way to go. Just knocked a chair over too. And you really don't see the glue too bad at all once this is all on here. So I do believe with just a little bit of dull coat, this is going to look fine. So we're going to put that guy right there. I'm slightly modifying the floor plan, but not too drastically. I'm trying to keep the overall setup intact. Okay. And we're going to put another smaller table right in here. And you can see this room is really filling up fairly quick. And I will add people, like all across the deck, there will be people added on this level. I just want to get the basics done, but again, this room, what I'll probably have is a couple stewards in here and a couple seated passengers, but I'm not really going to put that many people in here at all. Okay, we're going to do another small one there. I missed the fold on that one. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video from here. I think you get the general idea of what to do. And like I said, the next video is either going to be the second class smoking lounge or the Parisian Cafe, whichever I end up choosing to do first. But that's going to about wrap this one up. Thank you very much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and we will see you next time here at LC Model Shipbuilding.